You made it real ominous.
I think
Just
it's
paused after that weird
it's just
whisper.
a weird whisper. It's just booting up. It's kicking in. Okay. We are live? Question mark. Hopefully everybody can hear me. Oh, and all three of my players are in there. I love you guys. Welcome back to Forbidden Lands Fridays. We've been gone for what, 6 weeks?
6 months or something like
Six
that.
A
months.
year.
A solstice.
It's yeah. The winter solstice
It,
has left us. We are now entering the spring solstice.
Yes.
it's
That is
been
not
84 years.
Yeah.
It's not an understatement. Between life, illness, traveling, and everything else. Oh, it's been a long. I think it's 6 weeks, really, guys.
I thought
Honestly.
Canada was always winter. I thought. Has it been 6 weeks? Really? It's been that
Oh
long?
yeah, easily.
Oh my goodness! I didn't think it was that long.
Oh yeah. I was sick for 2 of them. Traveled for another. Had house guests another.
Oh, then yeah, we played half. We began one, and I think your son.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Son
right.
started crying. My wife was away. Hey,
Yeah.
I got your testing.
Ah, good. Well, something's working. I just don't see anyone else in there.
Yeah,
And what?
Twitch.
Twitch has been acting funny recently. But, okay, we are back with Forbidden Lands. We left off last time with an epic boss battle at the end of a dungeon. Ooh, where's the... Do I even have it available anymore? There we go. Let's go to the room. Let's go to the scene of the crime. You guys made your way through the dungeon. Well, let's do this here. We went through the dungeon Weatherstone. You guys made your way through. You went through the front gates, which is number 2 there on the map. And you guys made your way up through number 3, where you encountered a grand hall full of undead and skeletons, hundreds of them, who were locked in what seems was their past life. They didn't realize they were dead, from what you could tell. You guys went through there with too much of a hassle. You made your way to number 4. Do I have you guys on the right tab as I went through this? Yes. Excellent. What the heck? I switched it. You guys made your way to number 4, where there was a drawbridge. I honestly don't remember how you guys solved that puzzle. How you got across that. Jumped? You threw a rope or something?
Yeah, we did a rope.
Okay. The next room, you fought a man, bear, pig. Or a man, scorpion, lion thing. Which you guys wrecked. I thought that thing was going to be like the end of you. It was a weird room full of bizarre experiments. There was all sorts of bastardizations in that room, and it looked like it had been freshly used. There was human bodies and animal bodies, and this monstrosity was stitched together from different animals. But you guys finished that off, no problem.
Oh, yes.
From there, number 6, there was it was like an old amphitheater, or old theater, I should say, and it was now the nest of harpies. And you guys decided after the fight with the man, lion, scorpion, you did not want to mess with harpies. No, harpies. So you just ran through. You just ran through that room. You're like, F it, we're not doing this. Number 7, you guys encountered a undead guardsman on the other side of that drawbridge, and if I remember correctly, Agari, he did some quick thinking and used his silver tongue to charm that guy into lowering the gates. Did he not? He did some sort of convincing of him. Do you guys remember? He offered him some of that beer. I think some of the dwarven ale that you guys got from the town.
Yes, something like that.
Is that correct? I think so.
That sounds familiar.
From there into number 8, you guys made your way to old barracks, and there was guards milling around, and there was old servants milling around, all skeletal, of course. There was skeletal bowmen sitting in the murder holes, and they kept picking up arrows and firing them. There was no strings left on their bows or anything anymore, and they just kind of kept falling to the floor. But they thought that they were still firing their arrows down at unseen enemies. It was quite eerie. I want to say that this dungeon seemed really easy. You guys walked through most of it, but you guys could have triggered a series of events that would have caused all of the undead in this castle or this keep to start pursuing you, and it would have been a much different story. So that's why you guys kind of just walked from room to room, and you never really disturbed anything. You just kind of observed, and you're like, okay, let's keep going. I don't want to mess with this. It's weird. So
One was trying to mess with me, if I recall.
Yeah, that one big guy got in your face. I was trying to provoke you to, disrupt things in here, but you didn't take my bait.
That's right. Smart orc.
Like good cautious players now. And then finally you made your way. Here, let's go over here. This is the scene of the crime. Right? You remember this? The room where, let me grab my book. You fought King Algarod of Alderland. You woke him up from his eternal rest. You fought him and a number of his guards. This was, I don't use the word epic very often, but this fight was insane. This fight was something I'm going to remember for years to come. You guys barely made it out of this, but you guys deserved your victory. You guys played smart. Gritsnob dropped, what, 4 times?
Yeah, like 4 times. I'm not leaving with the same amount of body parts.
You've lost a nose.
Yes.
You have a broken limb.
Yes.
Raedric was doing support. He was doing long range support and also getting up and close and personal, while Agari was kiting around the room and getting them to follow and dropping heals wherever he could. Mm-hmm. And Gritsnob just kept spending that willpower to get back up, being an orc. But after it was an hour of game time, you guys defeated the enemies, and Gritsnob, you claimed Rustbite, the magical sword that was being wielded by King Algarod. You used it to finish off the last Death Knight, but you dropped because it sucked the last of your empathy out, and you're now unconscious. We're left with Agari and Raedric, who are up. Unfortunately, Agari can't join us tonight. So we are left with the chest at the foot of the bed, and there's a slot on the chest that looks very similar to the shape of the blade of the sword. It looks like, and you were given a clue that the sword would be used to unlock a treasure in this keep, or whatever we want to call it. Well, and let's say Mornath has just brought up the rear. He was hanging out with Dalb, and he's now join you, and he walks in on this aftermath with Gritsnob.
I took a wrong turn. I found the room that had all the daiquiris and alcohol and nice, really, recliners, and I just kind of hung out for a while. Hey, you guys look like hell.
Yeah. Gritsnob is on the floor unconscious, covered in blood. His arm is kind of hanging the wrong way. And Raedric's standing over him, and Agari is doing his best to keep them alive. So yeah. So here we are.
Took the right back there instead of the left.
Took a left at Albuquerque.
Didn't work out.
So let's kick this off, guys. What to do?
I am sitting down on my haunches, holding the sword, bleeding, and just trying to keep conscious.
Well, I know, like, Agari would have used his skill to bring you back, so you're at 0 or whatever. You're conscious.
Nice, but I still have these wounds.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
He would use his healing skill on you to stabilize you.
All right, I like that. So I'm just examining the sword then.
Yeah. Did I send you a description of it?
Or
a picture? So. No. Oh, it's a masterfully crafted longsword. It is just glows like it was just crafted yesterday. But this looks like an ancient weapon. You've never seen craftsmanship of this sort before. It's got a metal handle and the what's it called, the handguard or whatever, is it forks into like spikes.
Okay. Wait, it forks into spikes?
Well, yes. You can't use them to like hit anybody. It looks more ornamental. It's more for badassery. Looking cool.
I mean, that's kind of what I am.
Look at this guy, eh? Oh, and he's modest too.
All right.
All right.
So you said the chest looks like it supports it looks like the sword is a key to it.
That's what it appears. And given the clues that we were fed by Delb outside, Delb,
Yeah, like I was paying
DALB,
attention.
whatever, however we want to say his name, that guy. You were also given the clues that this sword, if you uncovered it, would unlock a treasure within this keep.
Okay.
So you see that chest at the foot of the bed.
All right, I walk up to it and I jam the sword into its respite.
Yeah, you jam the sword into it and you hear a click. And it kind of pops up slightly from its base and dust lets out from the lid.
Okay.
Do you want to open it?
Yes.
You open it up and inside you find a crown. It appears to be a silver crown. It's simple in its making. Doesn't really stand out too much when you look at it. But you also see something else. You see a scepter. Did that pop up for you guys?
I don't see it. Oh yeah. I see it.
You see a scepter.
Could this be the artifact to unite my kin?
So the scepter is a shepherd's crook carved from dark iron alderwood into the shape of a temple roof ornated with elder pendants. The ruby algarad is placed as the roof's eye, so that circle there is like is a jewel in the middle, like an eye. It's a ruby. The shape symbolizes the king's strength and vigilance in his role as the people's protector. So you've heard rumor of things like this, and you just defeated a former king.
Oh.
So this thing is very ornate. It's ancient, and it looks like it might be worth a pretty penny.
I'll look at if there's a human with us, right?
No, there are no humans here.
And
this was a human king, the Alderand king. So we have an orc, a half elf, and a dwarf. And if Agari was here, we'd have a wolfkin. So we have no humans in the party.
I'll make a comment about how humans like their jewelry to represent power. Orcs use the strength of hand to maintain control and power.
I feel like a lot of people like jewelry, though. Just like to sell it, have money, that sort of thing. Are you gonna take that, or can I have it?
What, for the scepter? Are you talking about the scepter?
He's talking about the scepter.
Oh, no. The scepter, I'll just take it for the party to trade. We can use this to further our search and journeys.
But can I hold
it? Sure. Yeah.
Can I touch it, please?
Yeah.
I mean, you get to hold the sword.
He doesn't care. Oh, he took the sword. He earned the sword by right of combat.
So we got a party here, pretty banged up, bad off. I'm going to start looking around the room to see what I can piece together to make a litter so that we can carry people out of here, or at least help them walk out.
Yeah, no, for
stumble
sure.
Across anything that might help them with their injuries while we're at it.
Yeah, definitely. No, there's bedding in here. There's like a desk and a bench over there in the corner, which you could break apart, and you could use the sheets off the bed and the blankets to kind of make like a gurney to carry people out if need be.
Yep. I'll be working on that.
I was just thinking we camp up here for a second.
Yeah. About that.
For a spell. Just rest up for a bit.
About that. So as you guys are sitting there,
what about that?
let's just wait here. Let's see what happens. You start to hear sounds. You hear footsteps. You hear clanging like armor coming up the stair approach outside the door that you came through. Making their way
can we
through.
is there only the one entrance? Can we barricade it? They look like some bookcases there.
You could barricade it, yeah. You could pull bookcase over there. There's also the door to the west of the room that Agari went out on previous, and I'll jump you guys back to the map just to show you. That's number 10, and it appears to be a crane that you could use to lower yourselves down and out of this place. When he ran outside onto the deck, he saw that, and it was described to him at that time. But with him not being here, there's no one to recall that fact. But yeah, there is that out there as well.
Okay, so we can use some of the sheets, etc., to make something to attach that and just get us all down there. But first, let's barricade this damn door.
Yes, you guys push the bookcases in front of the door. You all combine your strength. Gritsnob says he could do it himself, but you guys all band together to do it. And yeah, there's banging, and you can hear like swords being smashed and axes hitting the door. The odd little piece of wood splinters away, and you can see through, and you just see the undead grinning faces of skeletons trying to make their way in to see what had happened to their master.
Let's go!
Let's get out of here! Yeah, so the crane out there, the drop from the rock down to the moat is dizzying high. A thick copper chain, green with verdigious swings, or verdigii? I don't know what that is.
Verdigris.
Thank you, verdigris. Thank you, Bert. Swings back and forth, chiming in the wind. Where it hangs? From its weather-beaten windlass. So, yeah, you guys test the chain. You kind of yank at it, and you test the wood that the chain is attached to, and it seems very, very sturdy. And you guys determined that you could use this to make a hasty retreat or escape from Weatherstone, now that you have robbed it of its riches and killed its slumbering king, who you awoke after centuries.
What we do?
All right, how does the winch work?
Don't
tell me someone has to stay up here to operate it.
No. It's a little bit rough. It's a little rusted. If you figure if you could grease it with something or put
lamp oil.
There you go. You grab some lamp oil on there, and it's like just as good as WD-40. This thing is just giving her now. So it's a weighted winch. So you can tell that this was used at times as an escape method without having to leave a man behind. So you guys are able to load yourselves on there and secure yourselves with the sheets and the blankets, and you're able to slowly lower yourselves down from Weatherstone. And as you guys are slowly going down, you see the skeletons burst out onto the deck there, and they're firing their stringless bows at you, so the arrows are going nowhere. And you guys lower and make your way down to the ground without any issue.
Nice.
I won't kill you after all that. It's convenient how they have an escape there right after the last boss.
All right. We could have fought through those skeletons.
You could have killed all of them?
No.
I was like, because I could have them come out the front door if you really want to.
No.
You really want to do this, Grit Snob? We could.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you guys are down there, the base of the moat, and what you gonna do?
I kind of want to take a nap.
You want to take a nap down there? Did you guys write down the loot from those undead warriors that you're fighting?
I did not.
Hey, there's not a city far from here, though, is there?
No,
pretty
it's
close.
only like a half day's travel. You can make your way back to the Hollows.
I love.
Have we been?
Hollows.
We haven't been to the Hollows yet.
That was
Yeah,
like
we
where
have.
we spent the first like 3 sessions.
That's the name of that town. Okay.
Here.
Yeah.
There.
That's the town with the witch, the red-headed witch child.
Yeah, the mute.
Yeah,
And where you guys were put on trial.
Yes.
Yeah, that
that means like
place.
the racist dwarf motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
He's now in charge. The racist
Wait.
dwarf.
I just remembered. I ratted him out, didn't I?
You guys did encounter a troop of dwarves going down the road on their way. Well, they were looking for said dwarf, so you pointed them in that direction. That was the last thing that came up with the Hollows.
I'm
That-
sure things will be just fine.
I didn't really think about that, did I? Before
But
I
you
said,
guys-
"Hey, this is this fucking racist dwarf."
But you guys are considered heroes there because you did save the town and you got to the bottom of what was going on there.
So if the dwarves kill everyone there, it sort of balances out, chromatically speaking, is what you're saying.
And there weren't enough dwarves to do that. I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, I think
I
we'll
can't
be
remember how many. Say there was 7 dwarves that you guys
Oh, yeah.
encountered. They were all whistling as they were walking.
Yeah, there's 7 of them.
Yeah.
Really, 7?
Yeah, but we really need to get back there. You guys look bad.
You guys look terrible.
Yeah, bad.
I put my
Thanks,
helmet on.
dude.
It's just blood streaming down it.
Yeah, blood coming out from underneath your full face helmet. So, shall we travel? We'll say, what time of day is it? We are going to say it is late afternoon. So we're
Okay.
into evening because it's broken into morning, daytime, evening, and nighttime.
Nice.
So, who wants to lead the way? Usually, it's Agari, as we see there on the map, but he is not here tonight. So, to lead the way, it's a survival roll. So, decide amongst yourself who's the most skilled at survival.
What's
Did I mishear? Is someone actually gotten a broken leg or something like that that's going to be not able to
I have a broken arm, which would hinder me.
He has a broken
So-
arm and I don't know, like a gimp leg for now. Like
It
it's
says a
injured.
it says typical. It says a typical injury is what I have. A non-typical injury.
All right. So I imagine we've rigged up some kind of crutch or something so you can
Splint
walk.
and
You're probably
crutch.
too heavy for us to carry on a litter.
He's a big boy.
Yeah,
I mean, he's
we have to
a
gimp it.
orc, so yeah, he kind of has to be a big boy. No offense.
Oh yeah, he's
Not to call you,
he's not
not
small.
to call you, not to call you fat or anything, but you are literally the
Massive.
definition of a big boy.
He's big boned.
Yeah,
well,
he's
I'm
big
not-
bone.
Great at it, but
He-
I'm healthier than either of you, so I think I will take the lead then.
He is orc
Okay.
boned, as they say.
So you are going to lead the way for us then, Mornath, and that means we also need someone to keep watch for danger. And that involves getting back into this. Wow. Scouting. Remembering all these things.
I'm the best scout. I
You
think,
are the
right?
best scout. So Mornath is
Whoops.
going to lead the way. And you are going to scout. So Mornath, let's start with you. Go ahead and make me a survival roll.
All right, give me just a sec.
And if you're successful in all of this, you get to move 2 hexes for this roll. Because you're on like clear ground. So you're gonna get pretty damn close to the hollows. It's gonna basically take. Okay, so you got nothing.
I rolled nothing.
Go ahead for the next one. You can push it. If you
Yeah,
want.
I've got nothing. I didn't roll any 1, so I can't. Might as
On-
well.
On your, go ahead and use the dice roller. I think we started using the dice roller last session when you weren't here. So Wes, one of our players from the other games, created this dice roller at the top of the sheet, and he's kind of pre-programmed for you. So all you need to do is you need to click on the skill that you're trying to
Sure.
roll,
Yeah, I got it.
and then just hit roll the dice, and you get. Look at this. So it breaks it out by your tribute dice, skill dice, and gear dice, and you actually get to see the 6s and the 1s and all that good stuff, and you can then push it based off of the last result. So it looks nice. All right, so you successfully lead the way. You steer clear of any danger, and you pick up on the path that you guys took on the way there, even though it was a little bit of a roundabout way. When Agari led everybody through, it wasn't the most conventional way, but you were able to find your tracks and continue on. I'm sorry. Gritsnob, go ahead and roll me your Scouting.
Oops. So you said the sheet has been updated.
Keep watch. The sheet?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear. Which sheet? Sorry.
The character, the dice roll on the sheet.
So that one at the top. Yeah, use the one at the top. Clear the dice pool. Click that button that says clear dice pool. Did. Okay.
Oh, I see.
It'll always remember what you rolled last. So you always need to make sure you clear it.
No, I was saying because you said there was new functionality. Now I see it.
Gotcha. Look at you. You killed it. 2 6s.
All day.
Oh, like I said, he's modest. So you guys will move 2 hexes with that. But, Gritsnob, while you are scouting, you do hear something.
Another orc, crazy orc.
Well, you get a little closer, and you see a caravan, and it looks like there's a merchant who's scared for his life, and there's like a cloaked swords person. You can't really tell if it's a male or female, and it looks like they just assisted this person, and you're kind of like in the bushes and the trees, and you can overhear their conversation. Do you want to get a little closer, or do you want to listen in?
Yeah, I get a little closer.
Yeah. Do you want to make your presence known, or you just kind of...
No, definitely not.
Yeah. So you get a little closer, and you hear them talking. You see the merchant. He springs out from behind his wagon. He goes, "Oh, blessed benefactor, you delivered us from the monster. Who has ever beheld such magic?" he exclaims. Yet he dare not emerge from his wagon until the last moments, it appears. And the figure, the swordsman or swordswoman, just goes, "It was magic. I just pointed out a truth in the native tongue of the bloodlings," the stranger muttered in response, bending over the jewelry box that had fallen off the table in the heat of battle. The stranger eyed an amethyst dripping with fresh blood with disgust. And the merchant says, "That is my best stone, but you have earned it as your reward. It holds a higher value to me than my left nut." He laughs somewhat nervously as he was simultaneously struck by the possibility that their savior was a highwayman. He shot a glance at them. The warrior had sheathed her sword and appeared completely smitten, though it was nigh impossible to tell if the beautiful stranger was a man or a woman. "You peddle nothing but trash. I'm searching for the stone that once belonged to my beloved Viridia, and that's why I intervened," the wanderer answered, and then, to the merchant's dismay, dropped the amethyst in the dust of the road. "Viridia's heart is an emerald that goes by the name Gal-Eye. You haven't seen it, you who peddle in jewelry." The merchant's disaffirming answers seemed to distress the stranger, who exhaled a heavy sigh. Viridia and her 5 elven siblings once ruled this land, but after the peace was secured, their heartstones were set into the crown Stanagist, which was long worn by the rulers of Ravenland. If you, as a merchant, find the crown or any of its 6 stones, they can be sold for whatever sum of gold you desire. If you instead seek power, you will receive it with Stanagist on your brow. But if you want my friendship, you will return Viridia's heart to me.
I'm wondering to myself, is Viridia the artifact I seek?
The merchant goes, Have I understood you correctly? Are these valuable stones really lost without an owner?" he asks, whose business acumen once again had crawled free from fear. The beautiful stranger regarded the party. Well, the beautiful stranger turns around and looks right at you, Gritsnob. Knows you're there, makes eye contact, even though you didn't make yourself aware.
Uh-oh.
And says, defiant, Marigal stole Stanagest more than 1,000 years ago and spread the stones across the land. No one knows where they are anymore. They say that the loss of Stanagest caused the fall of Ravenland. And the merchant goes, who are you really? And then you see Gritsnob, the stranger, has yellow eyes and fixates them on you and says, but answering the merchant, I am Marigal. With that, you see a flash, Gritsnob, and Marigal's form. I'll show you a picture of Marigal as well. So that's the figure that you're seeing standing there. Slender, androgynous sort of elf with ash blonde hair and just like deep, bright yellow eyes. He looks right at you, and with that, you see his face shape and move and morph, it almost appears like, but it's like you're seeing it in your mind, and it's not really happening, and you see Delb, who also had bright yellow eyes. And then another moment later, you see the elk that you followed with bright yellow eyes. It almost seems to shape, and then you kind of shake your head, and you look again, and you see this Marigal figure standing there staring at you.
Witchcraft.
And it points to the group of you. It points to you, Raedric, because you're carrying the scepter. It says,
Oh shit, that me.
You have started a string of events that will change this land.
Good events or bad events?
Events. Good for some, bad for others.
Am I some or others?
You are others.
Fuck.
Forces will be on their way. They will be watching you. That treasure that you have in your sack has gained the attention of many strong demons such as myself.
Excuse me?
And with that, Marigal lets out a cackle and then just disappears.
The scepter seems to be wanted.
The merchant, oh, how long have you been there? What is this? What is this witchcraft? What is going on? That being, they saved me from the bloodlings. Who are you? What were they talking about?
I ignore him. What wares are you peddling?
He's a jeweler, so he's got a variety of stones, both costume jewelry and some legitimate stones. Like as mentioned there was amethyst was the most valuable stone on his table.
Amethyst? I don't care about the gems.
No, it's just jewels and gems and costume jewelry. Where are you going? Where do you hail from? You look to be in rough shape. What perhaps we could travel together. These roads aren't safe. These bloodlings, they almost killed me. And now demons.
We can travel with you.
Yes, no.
If you let me ride in your cart. And we receive food for the journey.
I don't have enough food to feed all of you. But how far away is the nearest town?
We tell them where the hollows. How far?
Well,
It's close. Very close.
It is nighttime now. I suggest we travel together, and I will buy you a meal when we get to the nearest town. How does that sound, my big bloody friend?
It works for me.
Oh, you're easygoing too. Yes, ride on my... Help me collect my wares. Please pick up that bloody stone on the ground and collect everything. We move to the nearest town.
Okay.
You guys help him. You climb into his little cart and you direct him towards the hollows. Go ahead and make me one more lead the way roll there, Mornath.
Sure.
Yeah. So even in the dead of night, you use the light of the moon and the stars to find your way back to the hollows, and you see in the distance that familiar town, the small stone palisades around it, the stream running through it, the strange civil war that once took place there not too long ago. And you guys make your way to the gates, and the familiar guard is there. You're at the south gate again, and it's the same militiaman who was there the first time you entered, and he right away recognizes you there at gate number 3, and he says, "Oh, you're back, and you look injured. Quick, come in. You can't stay out here." And he ushers you into the gates. So you guys are now familiar with the hollows, having been here once before and part of
Hey, we're celebrities here.
You guys are pretty well known.
Fuck.
So you got a couple options. You got the dwarf hating tavern there at 9C, and then you've got the number 8 there is the inn where they don't hate dwarves.
Well, we might get a better reception at the self-loathing dwarves establishment, as we did help him rise to power.
Yeah, there's that. So that's that is the Three Skulls Tavern, Brewery and Mill. Or you've got the Dead Man's Hand, number 8, over there in near the center of town. So the merchant turns, he goes, "Oh, so where should we go? They seem to know you here."
You fulfilled your duty and taking us, bringing us here, and I just get off. I don't pay attention to it.
Do you not want your meal, my large companion?
I wave and I point at the tavern we ate at.
The number 8 there at the north?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I just have it paid for when I get there.
As you slowly hobble over there?
Yeah.
So, you guys make your way through town and over the bridge, and as you do so, the townspeople see you, and they come over, and they kind of they look at you in awe. Some of the men in town, they come over and pat you on the back and shake your hand, and they welcome you back to town. And you make your way over to the Dead Man's Hand Inn, which is run by the Tavern Master Olm, if you remember. You come in, and right away there's a big grin on his face, and "Oh, you're a sight for sore eyes! You're alive! Most people who leave here, we never see them again, and we assume they're dead. Oh, you look like you're in terrible shape. Come in! And he shows you to a table.
I sit down and I say, "Meat."
"Oh yeah, we have some mutton. I'll go get
It's
you."
paid for.
Oh, okay. All right. By who?
The funny talking guy out there in the cart.
merchant. Yes, I will get them the meal. Do you have rooms available for us, friend? "Oh yeah, we have rooms. Just don't worry about that." So he scuttles off and goes to get meat for all of you. And within a few moments, he brings you out a plate of mutton and potatoes, served up for you, nice and hot. And he goes, "Well, have you heard what's been going on around here?"
This is something to do with dwarves.
Yeah. How did you know?
It's always dwarves.
Yes. And he looks at you. "Yes, I guess you would know, wouldn't you?" And he's kind of confused. "Yeah. You're a dwarf, yes. Yeah, the 7 dwarves came to town recently. And they were looking for our brewmaster, funnily enough, Yawim, spouting that he had committed crimes against dwarven kind by brewing human ale. Could you imagine? His famous ale that bring people to town and making the Hollows famous is human brewed? Strange fellow. I knew he didn't like dwarves, but Oh, that's a serious crime in the dwarven communities. So they've taken up residence over there at the elder's house, hoping for Yawin to come back, because he disappeared as soon as word that they were in town. He scuttled off, and nobody's really heard from him since for about a day or so now.
Funny.
Yeah. So, let me ask you, how did you know dwarves? He kind of asks, looking for more.
We encountered a group on our way here. They wanted to know where the town was. Shrug.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, things were great for, the first day or so with Yawim in power, but after these dwarves showed up, he's just kind of disappeared, and the town's running itself right now, but not well. The Rust brother has kind of stepped in and overseen, day-to-day squabbles and such. But,
Well, why don't you hold elections? Get someone else in power.
That's a great idea, he says. Maybe I'll run. Olm,
Maybe
town
you
elder.
should.
He kind of stares into the ceiling. Olm, town elder. That has a ring to it, How would one go about running an election, do you think?
Well, you start by telling people that you want to run. I imagine you want to get some people on your side.
Oh, would you vote for me? You're celebrities. I bet if you endorsed me, I'd be a shoo-in.
I kind of give him that tight lip smile. It's like, well, I don't really know you very well. I mean, you have an okay establishment, I guess. I mean, we've had, a meal here?
2 now.
2.
Though, and he turns to Gritsnob, you did break my window, and it did cost me.
I captured a witch for you.
Oh, with it, a witch? Perko? He's no witch. He's just a fool. He's the village idiot.
So what would you do for this town if you became mayor?
Well, I haven't really thought it through, now that you ask me. Well, I
mean, it's a big job, and you already run this fine establishment. Are you sure you're going to have time to run this town, too?
No, that's a good question. That's a good question. You know what? I think I'll sleep on this tonight. You brought up some valid points. The regular dormitory, your usual room, is available for you. So feel free to head on up there when you're done.
A regular room, okay.
The room where you were held captive.
Yeah.
So as you guys
enjoy a meal, and let's find out some more about our the meal buyer here. Is he joining with us at the table?
Yeah, the merchant is there. His name is. He goes, "Oh, my name is Gregor, and I travel from a faraway land north of here. With these blood mists lifting up, I want to see what is out there. They say there is much danger, and I did encounter that, but this is a strange land."
Strange indeed. We're also new to this land since the mists have gone away. So what can you tell us? What have you ran into so far? And do your trinkets sell much from village to village?
It depends. It depends on the people. If they are, the more isolated they are and away from civilized world, then yes, they are interested in my goods. But I come to a more populous town and, let's say, more intelligent people, and they are not so interested in my wares.
What are they interested in? What do they hope to find when you come into town?
Well, they are wowed by someone from another land. The way I speak, the way I look, the way I dress, they are blown away by such things, and I am typically either greeted and welcomed into the village or chased away, depending on the peoples. I do not know what they expect to find. I want to find my fortune and see this land. I have seen many strange things. I've Across the great desert with a troop of Rust brothers, I have ran from hordes and tribes of Minotaur men, and I have encountered my fair share of goblins and orcs across the land. Filthy creatures. Grit Snob.
Snob's wearing the helmet, isn't he?
Yeah, he doesn't know. Grit Snob's muted or just not saying anything to the being provoked.
He's a pacifist now. He's on
Yeah.
the errors of his ways.
I think we've lost Grit Snob.
He was so
Gritzy.
upset, he just stomped on out.
He just walked away. So while you guys are sitting there chatting with him, suddenly the door swings open and this ghostly figure saunters in. There's this table in the corner that nobody sits at and or sitting at, and this ghost wanders over, sits down, doesn't even look at Olm the barkeep, and just raises its hand. And Olm saunters on over and brings it a tankard of beer. The skeletal figure grabs the tankard and is sitting there and slouched and hunched over and swigs back the beer. The liquids itself just run straight through its body, forming a small puddle on the floor. You can hear the regulars in the tavern that are still there at this hour of the night. They're kind of like laughing and kind of like poking each other and nudging each other and pointing. And then you just hear them go, oh, they're saying, oh, Elrond the Miller's back. Yeah, looks like tonight's the night Elrond makes an appearance.
What the heck? So this is like just an undead that just walked in here?
Well, if you remember correctly about the Hollows, do you remember that
Yeah, the ghosts
there's-
appear here and there?
there's a ritual that you have to do when you're outside to remain safe at night? Ring
Oh,
the
the
bell. You
bell.
can do the same.
Yeah.
But they also revealed when you guys were here last time that as far back as they can remember, they coexist at night with the dead. The dead don't bother them if they do the little ritual. They've just kind of always been here. They assume that it was built on an ancient site of a battle or a burial ground. And this is just kind of a common way of life. If you remember your first battle with the goblins here, a warrior challenged you, remember? And you just kind of, the two of you fought.
Yes, we did.
So this is a common thing in the Hollows to have the undead just kind of appear, and the people here are just so used to it. They've been around it, they've grown up around it. This is normal to them. But for you guys, you're kind of like, what the hell is going on here?
Am I right? Freak show.
So the ghost turns to the three of you and stares right at you, and it's got this ghastly, hideous face. There's like pieces of skin just kind of like peeling and tearing and hanging off. You can see jaw and sinew, and it's just like one of the most disgusting, frightening things you've ever seen in your life. So, as such, you guys are all gonna have to roll. We're gonna have to roll a fear attack against seeing this thing.
Great. I love being spooked.
Scared to death. Let me just roll or turn to the page here for fear. I know we used it a lot in the last battle, but it was the first time it had come up. You guys were really resilient to fear, so I'm not too concerned here.
Got that right.
All right, so
I ain't afraid no ghost.
each 6 I roll will cause 1 point of wit damage.
Wow.
That's not good.
Well, remember, you just kind of fall to the ground.
Oh yeah. And my helmet.
Yeah, but
comes
it's like
off.
weird. I don't want to like fall
Yeah,
faint over just because I see this dude's face. Like I've been on the other end of that.
You can fall right over onto that plate of food and drown.
So I rolled no 6s. You
Nice.
guys are battle
You gotta-
worn. You've seen things much worse than this.
Yeah.
On the other side of the divide and on this side of the divide, since you've been here, after conquering Weatherstone, you are not blown away or sent trembling by the sight of a mere skeleton. You just kind of look at it
We've
and go,
watched Grit Snob eat. Come on.
yeah, right. So you are unaffected by this thing. And the others in the bar, in the tavern, they know, like, if there's a newcomer and they see its face. They've seen people run away in fear. They've seen people wet themselves. They're all sitting there with bated breath after when this thing looks at you, when Elrond the miller looks at you. And you guys are just kind of like, eh. And you go back to eating and drinking and talking to the merchant. And they're just, you could tell they're disappointed. Just, a big sigh is let out in unison in the tavern.
I turn to the merchant and say, "Is that ghost trying to start shit?"
I don't know if... What is this? Why is a dead man sitting here drinking and nobody cares? What is this place?
Why do you care there's a dead man sitting there?
I've not seen such things in my travels. No one seems to mind. Should we not...
Oh, we should warn you about that, given the time. If you run into any ghostly things while you're traveling about in the town, basically just tell them about the
Right.
red paths and the bells.
Bells, the paths, the little saying. He's, oh, thank you. I am glad I found you. You are good people. I have not encountered many good people, but you are among them.
Thanks, I think.
Yeah.
Where will your travels bring you next, then?
I do not know. Is there a sea near here? I yearn for water. I've been traveling across plains and savannas and valleys and through the foothills of mountains. I now want to see the sea.
Have you seen any orcs?
I have seen orcs. They're terrible creatures. Hey.
Have you seen a cloud?
Angry Sue Man is now following me. Thanks for following me.
I realized I didn't, and I felt bad.
I was like, oh, you've only been playing my games for 6 sessions. Thanks for following me, man. You're a player at all. I appreciate it. So yes, he goes, oh, filthy creatures, these orcs. I have never met an orc that I like.
You'll be surprised.
You've just said you have.
Really?
Did you just not say that you were amongst a group of friendly people?
Yes,
you
yes,
gonna
the
tell
three of you.
I'm an
tell
orc. Grrr.
You are a dwarf friend. Perhaps you got banged on the head a little too hard.
Perhaps you need to look at your preconceived notions of what an orc is, my friend. Sometimes orcs can be dwarves.
Oh, you shatter my preconceived notions, I suppose. Perhaps it is a little late at night, and we should get some rest because you are acting funny.
They call me the racism buster.
Oh, okay. Who calls you that?
I do, because I've solved racism twice now.
Okay. I am going to retire for the night. You are loopy. I go to bed.
I mean, what I said was...
bells.
Yes. If I go outside, I will ring the bell. Thank you. Thank you again. Thank you. This is also weird. I do not understand this place.
What's the name of the guy? The bartender?
Olm.
Oh, not...
O-L-M.
Probably should-
Olm.
I probably should have specified, not the bartender, what's his name? The brewer,
merchant?
the dwarven brewer.
Oh,
Dwarven brewer. It's not Yawim.
it is
That's
Yawim.
the-
Thank
that's
you.
the-
I was just going to go look it up in the book again. Yawim.
Was it
Yawim?
Yawim? I thought
Yeah,
Yawim was the red
Nope.
Rush brother.
No, that is Struger. Struga is his name. That's Yawim.
Okay. So Yawim is the dwarf motherfucker.
Yeah, the self-loathing dwarf.
Well, I solved that racism the hard way.
Did you solve it?
I kind of did. He ran out of town.
No, he runs the town now. Well,
I thought he got ran out of town.
well, nobody's seen from him. I don't know.
It was him and the other guy. It was him and the woman, remember?
Yeah,
And he
Mrs.
won.
Polymer. Yeah. No, but he's saying
Yeah.
because he sent the dwarves here, he's run him out of town, is what he said.
Oh, okay.
Because he pointed the dwarves in this direction. He rid the town of Yawim, the self-loathing dwarf. So Olm comes on over and takes your plates away and goes, oh, Elrond did not
Bring more.
Or he goes, Elrond didn't scare you fellas. I see there. I should have warned you about him. He comes in here usually once a week. We leave that table in the corner just for him. Things get a little nasty if you get between him and the table. So yeah. But I'm glad to see. I've seen people react way worse than you at his site. So good on you.
We
You're
saw
welcome,
some
I
things
guess.
to keep.
So what's the story? Why does he still come in here?
What's the order?
No one really knows. He was a miller one time in this town, and he was a drunk. So we can only assume that he comes back to the place he loved. He comes here for a tankard once a week, and we don't really mess with tradition.
Does he talk at all, or does he just stare ghostily at people?
No, he just kind of stares people down. But we're used to it.
Have we tried talking to him?
Yeah, he doesn't answer. I watched his jaw fall off one time when he tried to talk to me.
Did you give it back to him at least?
Of course.
Okay.
You have to respect the dead here in the Hollows.
Gotta give him this. RESPECT.
That's right. I can't spell. I'm illiterate.
Well then.
Way to make it weird with him.
You speak strange tongues to me, dwarf.
So, speaking of dwarves, actually, I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Where are those other dwarves that showed up? There's 7 of them, I believe.
Yeah, there's 7 of them. They've taken up residence over there in the elder's house, awaiting the return of Yawim. They want to catch him and take him back for his crimes against dwarvenhood.
Have they caused any problems with you guys, like ransacking the town or anything like that?
No, not at all. They've actually been very well behaved, and they treat people with respect, and they say they're just here for Yawim.
Interesting. Are they taking any visitors?
As far as I know, yeah. Anybody who has information of Yawim's whereabouts.
I think, I say this part, I think we should probably meet with the dwarves and see exactly what the deal is with them before we head out. Just in case they decide to make a ruckus here. Through one method or another.
As the heroes of the Hollows?
The heroes by default.
By default. All right.
I'm just going to say the real heroes.
Olm says, okay, you guys, it's late. Why don't you get some rest? It's now 1 a.m. Patrons are filing out.
Probably need your rest. They're not going anywhere. We can talk to the dwarves in the morning.
Gritsnob definitely needs some rest.
Also,
guys, I literally died 4 times back there.
See if we can find, ask around, see if there's a healer about that we can hit up in the morning.
Yeah, he goes, you know what? I don't know. The closest thing we have to a healer here in town is, you might want to see the midwife. Nervia. She's the closest thing we have to a doctor or a healer or anything. She's not from here. She's from faraway land. She's kind of ended up in the Hollows one day, and she's just kind of become the midwife. She seems to, people go to her when they're sick and stuff. Yeah, go check her out. See if she can maybe help your friend here. And he looks at your makeshift splint and crutch, Gritsnob.
What was the name again?
It's the midwife Nervia. Nirvea. So, you guys call it a night. You get your dormitory room back, where you guys spent your first night here, and also the second half of that first night where you were held prisoner. The window has been repaired in the room since Gritsnob smashed it with his head and yanked the deaf mute kid, who he refers to as Witch, through the window, who also helped you guys get out of your jam, but
because he was a witness, right?
He was a witness, yes. The deaf mute. So you guys go to bed for the night, and it's an uneventful night. You wake up mid-morning because you guys went to bed a little late, and Gritsnob, you feel fantastic the next day. Raedric, did you have any injuries from the battle?
Yeah. Oh, well, no, not like critical injuries, but I was hurt.
Like your attributes?
Yep.
Okay. So
Syringe.
all of your attributes are back up to full after a good night's rest.
Beautiful.
Do we get our experience point build stuff?
Sure. You guys have experience points to spend, don't you? How many did I give you last session so that Mornath can get his in?
I have 50, I think. Let me see.
I haven't spent any of them this entire campaign. So
I did. I spent 10 in last game. Where are they?
I'm pretty sure we're well above the limit of 9 that the character sheet has.
Yeah, I think we have 15, but let me see.
I'm going to say, yeah, I don't want to.
Yes, the last session you gave us 5, it looks like.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I've had a total of 15.
Then everybody should have a total of 15, I'm assuming.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that makes sense at least.
Because you didn't get 5 every session. It depends on which check mark or benchmark.
Well, we got epic last time. We got a bunch last time because you said everything was epic.
Yeah, because there's a checklist, and if you hit A, you get a point. If you hit B, you get a point. If you hit C, you get a point. You guys checked off.
I have
the list.
I have the list right here. Actually, I'm thumbing through the book.
Yeah. So 15 total. Gritsnob, you wanted to buy a talent?
Yeah. He's went a little mad since his battle, so I'm gonna give him Berserk.
Cool. You guys know what you want to do with your points. You can go ahead and spend them. Otherwise, we can talk about that after game. We won't get too hung up on spending points right now.
Yep.
I mean, according to this, it says you need to use a quarter day and stuff like that.
I'm
That's
assuming.
take the day tomorrow after talking to a few people, and we can do it then.
Yeah, Gritsnob.
Yeah.
Set some time aside.
Yeah, it's a more specific time aside. Yeah, okay. It also gives us a little bit more time to think about it. Also, I have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any stats for the scepter that I should know about?
Yeah, so I'm debating. Do I make you use it or just give you the stats? Let me get the stats here. I have them in front of me. Let me copy and paste it. Well, let's do a little bit more searching and find out if we can find something out about this staff. How about that? As far as you know right now, it is a staff. It is a scepter that you could use and bash things with.
Is it heavy? How heavy is it?
Oh, it's heavy.
Very
heavy. You can use it with one hand. It's a one-handed weapon, but it's heavy because it is ornate and solid metal. The craftsmanship is unparalleled.
I'm going to put the encumbrance as basic then in that case.
Sure.
I feel like that's fair. Carry the number of regular items equal to double your strength. Strength is 5, so I can carry 10 stuff. 2. Yeah. 10 stuff. So yeah, so agenda for today. Just going down the list, guys. Got to talk to some dwarves, find out if they're gonna murder an entire village. And then we gotta research this fancy stick.
I don't believe it is the artifact I seek, so I do not care for it or about it.
What should we want to do first? Do you have a preference?
I like how Raedric just kind of ignore. He's like, "Okay, you're crazy. What do you want to do first?" You weirdo.
Okay.
So do injuries carry over, like the gimpy arm, or is it healed when he has a night's rest?
It takes for the arm, the broken arm. It takes 6 days. How many?
It'll take 6 days.
Right.
We
So
traveled.
we should see the midwife first and see if we can get you guys patched up.
That's right. I forgot about the midwife.
It's 10 days. 10 days.
10 days. Your arm
that's
is
more time than I'd like to stay in this village.
is gimpy.
And my nose is 5 days.
sweet.
But didn't we travel for a day and rest for
You
a
traveled for a half day.
day? No. So I'm still at. I have a 6-day wound, a 5-day wound, and a 10-day
Yes.
wound.
To be fair, it's a nice village.
You guys are like heroes here.
Yeah, but we're heroes light of coin purse too.
This is true.
But yeah, I think we probably
Midwife.
should meet the midwife.
The
Agreed.
midwife. Okay. So yeah, you're directed to where her house is, and you go knock on her door, and you see an elderly woman, human, answer the door, and she goes, yes, oh, I know you. What can I do for the group of you?
I spit out a glob of blood. And I'm hurt, and point at my arm with the belt where it's kind of at a weird angle.
Oh, yes, come in. Let me take a look at this. Can you remove the armor from your arm, and I'll take a closer look.
Yes.
Oh, shit. Wait.
It's just the arm.
Yeah. She's so she brings you into her cabin, and it's very simple. It's like a 2-room cabin. It's a 1-room cabin. There's a bed in the corner. There's a table in the middle, and she's got a small kitchen. It doesn't seem like she has many belongings whatsoever. She's an older woman. She's dressed in like dirty sheets of cloth and a hood, and she speaks with consideration, just very softly and slowly to you. And she brings you over. It's like a doctor, good bedside manner. She, come over, let me take a closer look. And she looks at your arm and oh, that's nasty. That doesn't look good. Let me see what I can do here for you. And she goes into her satchel that she has hanging off of her persons and starts digging through it. You can smell, as soon as she opens it, you can smell like herbs.
Okay. I mean, I'm all for whatever's getting ready to happen here.
So she examines it, and you see her take some herbs out, and she gets a mortar and pestle, and she starts mashing it together. And she goes over to her cupboards, and she pulls out a jar, and it looks like red with almost like blood. And she pours it in there and mashes it together, and then takes it over to the fire, and it starts to bubble and smolder, and smoke comes out. And she then just pulls some small bones out of her satchel, and breaks those up and puts it in the concoction, and then brings it to you and says, here, drink this. This will make you feel better.
Okay.
So you sling
gulp
it back.
down.
You gulp it down. You're an orc, and you've tasted a lot of terrible things, but this does not taste good to you. But you cringe, and you sit back in your chair, and you let out a gag. And as you do so, you suddenly you look down your arm, and it's just like you make a fist, you clench a fist, and you kind of move it at the elbow back and forth, and it seems like whatever she has given you has definitely worked.
Yeah. Thanks. Thank you, shaman.
Well, it is my pleasure. I've foreseen you being here, and I've foreseen portions of your journey. You carry something very special, and she points to you, Raedric. You have something very special there.
Everyone keeps saying that, and it's making me self-conscious.
You You have found a very, very interesting item there.
Is it the stick?
A very ancient item, she says. That is the Nekhaka scepter that you carry. And you haven't revealed this. She's just pointing at the satchel.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, lady. It's the stick.
No, it's much more than a stick. What you have right there, that contains the essence of an ancient king. It is said that Algarad, the first king of the Alderland, was so wise and good that the gods turned his heart into a ruby after his death. Is there not a ruby at the top of that scepter? She's not looking at it or seeing it. She's describing it in detail to you.
Wait, is there actually a ruby in there?
Oh yeah, there's a big, deep red ruby set in the very top of it.
Oh, I forgot about that part.
She goes, Algadan, son of Algarad, had his craftsman carve the scepter Nekhaka with 3 pendants from the golden alder trees of the royal palace and set his father's ruby into the scepter. Nekhaka carried...
Stop saying it.
I can't... was carried by the Algaranian dynasty for generations, but was lost in Ravenland when the last regent, Algarad, was slain with all of his men by the demonic hordes of the sorcerer Zygoffer. The elven elders instead claimed that Algarad was an elf disguised as a human, and that his ruby heart was one of the 6 stones of the crown Stanagest. And you remember yesterday you ran into Marigal, the demon, on the road, and they also mentioned Stanagest. They were seeking stones to complete Stanagest. So that word kind of turns on a light bulb to you. This is now the second time within less than 24 hours you've heard of this thing. First you encounter a demon on the road, now you've got some sort of, I don't know, witch telling you the same thing, or also mentioning this thing.
Yes.
That which you have in your bag contains one of the 4 stones to be laid within Stanagest, and he or she with Stanagest on their brow will rule this land with unbelievable power.
I mean, that sounds cool. I'm gonna be honest.
That sounds cool and all.
How do you know that legend? I understand you don't come from here.
You can probably tell by my accent. I do not. I come from far away. She looks around. She looks to the window. She walks over. She draws the curtain. She walks to the door and locks it. She goes, I'm a Raven sister. I've had contact with the outside world long before the blood mist dispersed.
Do we know this order?
Yeah, the Blood Sisters are pretty well known. They're also known as the rivals to the Rust Brothers. The Rust Brothers hate this order of witches.
Okay.
So they're very famous. You've definitely heard of them, just like you've heard of the Rust Brothers.
Yeah.
She goes, I long to get out of this village. Perhaps I can join you in your journeys. I've been here for far too long, and you've set in motion things that will change this land.
I'm gonna be honest, this seems like a really weird proposal for someone we just met literally like fucking 15 seconds ago.
Well, the bones, they've shown me part of your future. And she reaches in her satchel and she brings out these like raven bones.
Oh, those bones! I thought you were talking about grit snobs, like fucking broken arm.
Tosses them on the ground, and again she goes, They always come to the same outcome whenever I ask about the group of you.
Sounds like those bones are loaded.
Well, when it comes to the four of you, they are.
I think we should group huddle up.
Okay.
Want to go take a knee, midwife? Can you just step aside for a moment?
Hey.
So this lady seems like she's got something to gain. Just because we got this magic stick with us. I don't know about you guys.
It seems to have a lot of value.
Value creates problems and solutions, as they say.
Hmm.
I think it's worth listening to what she has to say.
I agree.
I concur. Why don't we're at the halfway mark. Do you guys want to take a quick break?
I think that's a nice idea.
Get a drink of
Sure.
water, step away, and we'll be right back. Does that sound okay?
Works for me.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's take 5 minutes and we'll be right back. We like gained more people watching us while we were on break. All right, these guys are gone. Let's start watching. Welcome back.
Let's watch a static scream.
Well, it wasn't even static. I left it up. I just turned my webcam off and turned all the sound off for the group of us. Oh, we dropped back to 5 viewers as soon as we came back.
Fuck.
Did you say something?
Man, I was trying to get some ASMR in here, but now it's fucking like I'm awake for centuries.
That's hilarious. 7 people show up when we leave. We come back, drop to 5. That's okay. I'm okay with that. All right, so we left off. You're talking to a Raven sister who has made a proposition to, who claims she has seen visions involving you and asks to escape this village in your company. So what do you want to do?
I'm guessing she fears the Rust Brother? Is that what's going on?
Oh, she hasn't said so. You haven't really asked her about it, but
I feel like that's definitely an element of it, considering she had to fucking like sneak a peek outside, make sure no one within like 100 feet could hear that she said that she was a Raven sister. I imagine that's definitely like at least an element.
Possibly.
Oh yeah, you guys stepped aside. You're like, give us a moment, and you all huddled in the corner. We need to talk amongst ourselves.
So here's one reason I wanted to get this little team huddle going. It seems like we're getting into some real shit. Like some real like end of the world.
I lost my nose.
It's almost like you guys have started the Raven's Purge.
Start some real end times, end of the world, fate of the Forbidden Lands type shenanigans here, right now.
Serious, as you would say.
Serious business. I'm wondering if you guys are up for it.
I am up for uniting my people.
Well,
No
I'm
matter
here
where
to
it takes me
explore
for this
and get
land.
rich.
Yeah, right? Huh. I think I'm gonna have to put this giant map. I got the map spread out on my desk. I think I'm gonna have to hang the map up on my wall here soon, so I can look at it while we play. On a side note, I don't know if anybody watched the interview with the designer, but the first expansion is going to be the land to the north, and after that, the second expansion is going to be the sea to the east, and they're just going to keep building on the existing map.
That's pretty cool.
I'm excited, actually.
Bigger and bigger and bigger. So sorry to I digress. I apologize. I just got excited looking at the map, knowing that it's going to like double and triple in size.
I'm hyped.
I am too.
Yeah.
So you guys go back to your discussion. I apologize.
I'm just saying, if we want to drop this, we should drop this quick because we're gonna be drawn into shit if we keep going. I'm wondering if you guys want to possibly look into a situation where we can get out of this scenario where it's fate deciding the fate of the universes.
Well, I think we're already locked on that path. I mean, after all, our orc friend here is already has set his feet upon a path of glory to reunite his tribes. I think at this point we're locked into what the fates might have in store. I mean, we could go, we could leave, but I think as long as we're traveling with Grit Snob here, it's inevitable. I just hope that more than a few coppers come my way from it.
Fair enough.
Sounds about right.
The shaman could be useful.
As a meat shield.
That too.
All right, ready? Break. So we turn around and face her again.
All right, so we'll be your kings collectively, I guess.
Oh, great! So you'll help me get out of here, and we'll continue on our journey. Like I said, the bones have spoken to me. They say that you must collect the 3 other artifacts to combine with the crown to gain the power, and you must defend said artifacts. I have seen that we must visit a sister of my order deep within the arena forest to the north of here. It is many, many weeks' travel there and very dangerous, but she will have more answers for us.
All right.
We must be careful, though, because agents of the sorcerer Zygofer will be watching us.
Agents of what form?
Hideous demonic creatures. Have you not heard of Zygofer?
I have not.
Sure. No. Yes.
Zygofer is like I said, an evil sorcerer, but is a combination of both Zytera and his daughter, Thorania. They are bound forever at the backs. And instead of legs, they have the body of a hideous spider. The two of them are trapped and muddled together, and they are the most powerful creature in this land. It is said that during the final and 4th battle of the Alder War, they summoned a demonic horde which slaughtered King Algarod and the Algaronian army. The very king whose scepter that was. And she again points to your back. He has agents everywhere. Demons, people, humans, dwarves, you name it, all working for him. We must be very, very careful of who we deal with and how we carry ourselves in this land.
You speak the truth.
Valid points.
So, we will leave then?
Right now? I mean,
we need a bit of healing first.
Yeah.
And to resupply.
plus I want to pick up some stuff, like, wait there probably.
And what
Nope.
can you tell us of these dwarves that are in town?
Yeah.
And the persecution of your new mayor?
Yes, Yawim. It seems he has, his past has finally caught up with him. I know where he is. He's hiding in the crypt, just northwest of town, up there on the hillock.
Interesting.
He's been hiding out in fear of the dwarves who have come looking for him. You could go find him if you want, but I don't know what good that would be.
I don't want to leave this region in a destabilized manner yet again. I feel like we have to do something to make up for the current situation, if that makes sense
Well,
to everyone here.
she goes over to a window and points up to like a large obelisk there, number 7 on the map. She goes, well, you go past that old temple, and he's hiding out there, and there's a crypt in the stones, an ancient crypt. You go up in there, and that's where he's hiding.
What are
What
your
does he hope
guys'
to gain from hiding? It doesn't seem like these other dwarves are going to leave anytime soon. Does he really think he can outstay their welcome?
She shrugs. I don't know what Yawim is thinking. He caught word of these dwarves and he ran and hid, and he was asked others to help seal him in the old crypt up there until the dwarves left town.
I think we should maybe talk to the dwarves and talk to Yawin. At least get a general idea of like what each of their perspectives is before we move. I don't know
while
if you
you're
guys want to do
healing,
that.
We'll likely be here a few more days anyway.
Oh yeah. Look at me.
Gritsnub, you feel surprisingly good. The more time
Nice.
it passes, you're just like you're getting your strength back. Your limbs not feeling that weak. You're
Nice.
like, whatever this old witch gave me, it seems to be working.
Okay.
She goes, yes, if you want to spend some time here and gather provisions, that is understandable. But I suggest we don't wait too long. The Rust brother has been sniffing around a little too much as of recently.
Uh-oh.
If I'll tell you what, we could slay him before we leave the village.
You think you can kill a Rust brother?
Sturkus?
That would leave the village undefended.
Yes, but the Rust brothers are filth. They don't need that blight on their village. We kill him, we leave.
I feel like being murderers is a bad idea,
Well,
especially when it's not really warranted.
it's up to you. We don't have to kill him. She seems kind of annoyed. But yeah, we shouldn't stay long.
We'll try to get you out here so you're not going to get murdered by a Rust brother, I guess. But I feel like killing a Rust brother is just going to bring more of them to the table.
The sisters and I can take their kind. She says overconfidently.
Well then,
There is a you guys have heard of the deep long hatred between the two orders. The Rust brothers will seek out the witches of the Raven sisters and slay them and burn them at the stake when they uncover them.
Okay.
who wins in the fight usually?
Are you asking her?
You like
Me
according
as
to
the
the
DM, as the
history,
GM?
as you as the repository for the world's knowledge.
It really depends. Just like any order, there's varying degrees of power with the individuals.
Well, that and we don't know anything about this region since we're new here.
Yeah, since you're complete newbies, you've just heard tales of these things, rumors, fables, if you will, right? So you don't know what's true and what's not, but you have heard of both of these orders or sects. The Rust brothers are almost fanatical in their means and methods, and the Raven sisters have an air of mystery around them and known for witchcraft.
Okay. These are ancient orders too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they are. Grit snob.
That's how you say it with anger. You have to have anger in your voice.
Grit snob.
All right, guys. So what you thinking?
I kind
What
of
do
want
you
to talk
wanna
to
do?
those dwarves.
You talk to the dwarves, you could leave, you could do whatever the hell you want.
Let's talk to the dwarves first. Find out what their intents are with our hiding mayor. See if there's anything we can do to relieve the situation. I would like to know that we have a safe haven to come back to.
I also got a wacky idea involving dwarves.
They are your kin.
I'm going to be relying on that fact.
Okay. So yeah, you guys make your way over the village elder house there, number 10 on the map, and there's no militiaman, there's no guards standing outside like there normally is when you were here when Miss Polymer was in power, and even Yawim had his guards outside of his door. You just approach the door, and as you get close, you can hear a number of voices chatting in there. You can't really make out what they're saying, but you can hear loud, boisterous voices and Raedric, you know the sound of your kinsman when you hear it.
It's my boys.
It's my boys.
I knock on the door.
Hey, you knock on the door and the chattering inside stops. And then after some time, you can hear like heavy footsteps, single footsteps make its way to the door, and the door cracks open, and you see a red bearded dwarf answer it.
What's up?
What? Hey, didn't we see you on the road?
Damn right you did.
What do you know about the dwarf trader in this town? You point us in this direction.
I don't know where he is, but I know he's in this town.
Mm,
Does that answer your question?
no.
Did you find him yet?
No, he needs to be tried for his crimes.
Oh boy.
Tried
Also,
where and why? You do realize the
And
dwarf that
how.
you're looking for is the current mayor of this village.
I feel like we're disobeying the laws of numerous treaties.
I mean, it means nothing to us. The law of man means nothing to us. He is one of our kind. He is one of our kin. He's a dwarf, and he deserves to be tried for his crimes against his fellow kin.
Believe that he has rather forcefully removed himself from your kinship. I mean, talking to the man, not that I've done it much, but he seems to really not want to associate with his used to be brother.
Yeah. He seems like he kind of doesn't like us anymore for some reason. Also, we lost Crypt Snob.
We lost Grit Snob. What? When did we do that? I just thank you for noticing that.
I mean, it happened like 15 to 45 seconds ago, but I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to interrupt the scene. But now it's becoming a
Grit
situation.
Snob, where are you? Okay.
I guess you just wandered off into town.
We'll keep going without him for now. He'll be back. I'm confident. He goes, well, he must be dragged back to our capital city. You know of this, Raedric.
I'm actually from south, so
The southern dwarf. I should have known. You don't understand the way
you're
things
right.
work.
I don't.
Well, let us understand, what is the law? This dwarf has excised himself from his kin. He's given up all fellowship with you. He's essentially exiled himself. What laws
What
need
kind of
to be
bullshit?
addressed?
He
What kind of
brewed
bullshit?
human recipes while living amongst us. That is a serious crime against dwarves.
So he did this while he was still living with you, right?
Yes.
And he escaped your justice?
Yes.
That changes things. Well, actually, it doesn't really change things. Things were always like that, but I didn't know they were like that, so it changes my perception of things, I guess. Does that make sense?
No.
All right. So, quick question. Where is this capital city? Is it to, like...
We live
The
in the
west?
mountains. We live in the mountains to the far to the west, to the northwest of here. This coward must have been fleeing over the divide.
Are you taking him there to be tried, or are you trying him, in air quotes,
we will take
here?
him back to Stonebreaker Hold, where he'll stand trial and most inevitably die.
Interesting. Is he...
Go on.
a bad guy?
Of course he is. You know how serious this crime is.
I mean, I kind of got the impression just based on how you guys are reacting, context, but yeah. I guess I don't have cultural influence.
Dwarven law is dwarven law, whether you're on the north of the divide or south of the divide.
What if I'm west?
But you're from
Is
the
it-
south of the divide. That was the mountain range you guys crossed to get here.
I'm just asking, like, theoretically, though.
What do you mean, what if you're west?
Like, if I come from the west of the divide.
Sure.
Is that... Okay. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter.
The dwarves and the elves are the most ancient peoples here in this this land, and they all originate from, well, it is rumored that they originate from single tribes, so there's a lot of consistencies between these people on both sides. It seems to be the humans and goblins and orcs and things like that have kind of broken off and done their own thing.
I get what you mean by that.
Splintered. You're a proud ancient people, you dwarves. You stick to tradition in the Forbidden Lands and other parts, despite centuries of being cut off from one another.
So, Mornath, since you're the only other person who's here and Grit's not asleep.
Yeah.
Here's my idea for a preliminary plan. If you'd like to listen to it.
Go on.
If you want to travel northwards, we could do so in a mostly safe passage via giving Yawim over to the custody of these dwarves and traveling with them as deputies to ensure his timely arrival at Stonebridge, right? Is that what it's called? Stonebridge?
Stonebreaker Hold.
Stonebreaker Hold. That would give us a little bit of a safer travel to the Northern Lands on our way to meet the Raven sisters up north. And we could probably get some more information from the dwarves there. This is just spitballing ideas, though.
Well, it's a fair idea. I mean, assuming that, well, we can find him. I do the very, passive. This is for our audience. And he's willing to go. I still have the question, though, and looking at the dwarves. You seem to have no problem in disrupting the laws of this human village here. He is their duly elected official, and you would take him from this village. Do you not think that is going to cause problems?
That is none of our concern.
Is it? Is it not? When's the last time you had a war here between yourselves and the humans?
The laws of man don't concern us centuries ago.
Yeah. So the laws of man being what they are, if they took up arms against you because you're doing something directly against their own laws.
We do not fear men.
Do you?
To be fair, last time, I might be getting my facts wrong. The last time there was a big old war between humans and dwarves and elves and stuff like that. Blood Mist came about, killed everyone on the surface for about 300 years. There was demons. There's a snake lizard man that's a wizard that lives on the same body as his daughter or something like that. I wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah, they're connected back to back, and they have like their body kind of goes into like the torso of a spider. They're interconnected, the two of them, and that is the being that summoned the demon army that plagues this land also.
Yeah, that's
and defeated
Zygofer?
Defeated the humans, elves, dwarves.
So that's what happened the last time.
Well,
granted, this is just like a single village still,
Yes.
like not like an entire kingdom, but still, you kind of get the sense that like maybe we shouldn't like reignite hostilities. You know?
Well, there is a way you can get what you want without having hostile actions. He's only newly the elected mayor of this town. Why don't you talk to the townsfolk here? Maybe maybe sweetening the pot with a little bit of good faith trade will get them to elect someone new, and then you'd be able to take him without a problem. Heck, they probably even know where he's hiding.
What sort of trade do you suggest?
Well, I mean, you don't want to give away the farm. But maybe you can make some kind of small, lucrative trade deal. They don't seem to be fairly rich here in metal.
Why don't you go ahead and roll me...
I am not the smooth talking.
I know you're not.
Why do I keep doing this?
You keep putting yourself in this situation.
All right, so what do you want?
Manipulation.
Manipulation. I need to buy... Oh, I did buy some of that. Or did I? I've got some of it. Okay, it's an empathy, right? All right.
Yeah,
so
it's empathy.
Oh, I'm not horrible.
You're not. Yeah, you're not terrible at it. Okay.
There you go.
He puts his hand to his chin and starts rubbing his beard. This is a strange place, this Hollows, but perhaps a pact between man and dwarf could be beneficial. Yeah. So, what do you suggest we do? We ask around for.
We call a town meeting. You present your case that this guy is a runaway from your laws, that he will be brought back to be set before trial. A fair trial.
Fair due
process
process.
And all. And I'm sure the humans here, maybe with the persuasion of a deal in trade, might be willing to nominate a new mayor and tell you where their current mayor. What do you say?
Hold on. He closes the door and you hear him stomp away.
No. They huddle up, man. Come on. They huddle up.
And then you hear a bunch of talking. It's like... Goes on for a few minutes. You go peek through the window and you see them all huddled together talking, and the one that went and spoke to the door is like pointing back at the door and kind of gesturing, and there's a lot of shrugging and heads shaking no, and the odd punch being thrown amongst the seven of them. And eventually,
relatively civil for dwarves.
Yeah, eventually, the red bearded and haired dwarf stomps back to the door, and you hear the lock unlock. And okay, you gonna call a meeting? They like it.
We could probably arrange it. Where are we right now? We're at
number 10.
We're at the number 10. This is the dwarf's establishment.
This is
no, it's not. This is
the elders.
This is where the
house.
Okay,
yeah.
Good enough. This is a good enough place to hold a council meeting. Sure, we'll go round up the humans that matter.
The humans that matter. That's funny.
Well, I'm sure the shopkeepers and the merchants, etc., have more of a say than just the laborers.
What about the Rust brother?
That too, although he seems to be more of just a peacekeeper. I don't think he really threw in behind anyone. I mean, He helped us oust the woman that was, ripping off the town, but he didn't really have anything to say about who was elected after.
He was more of a
He seems more like a sheriff than like a mayor.
Yeah, let's go collect. Let's go collect some people.
Yeah, so you round up some local business owners and standout citizens, and the Rust brother, Sturkus. Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Do you want to grab the midwife while you're at it also?
Not if the Rust brother will be there.
Yeah, keep her out of this. Hide her in like a bush or something like that. That way no one can find her.
Go hide in that bush over there. That's funny. Yeah, so you gather people of notable stature here in the town. You gather them back at the elder's house?
Yes.
All right. So
there we go.
Yeah, people like, well, what do you want with us? What are we doing here?
No, give them just some lowdown on it. That their current mayor is actually wanted for crimes, and his amongst his own people. They're here in town. They would like to present their case. And perhaps you might want to consider electing someone else as a mayor after hearing their case.
Why don't you make me
I'm just giving them the facts. I'm not trying to
I know.
Well, I'll make a roll. What do you want?
Performance roll. And Raedric will assist you, so give yourself an additional D. Whatever. Just like boost up one of the stats that you're rolling by an extra die.
Sure.
I know performance isn't your best, but Raedric's here helping
I have
you.
nothing in
And we'll say
so.
we'll say Grit Snob is helping you as well. You'll get 2 extra dice. The 3 of you are trying to convince the town.
There you go.
Teamwork.
Yeah, so they talk amongst themselves and they go, well, the heroes of the Hollows, they make a good point, you know. They saved our town and they've been right about everything else so far. Maybe there's something to it. And you hear a voice from the back of the crowd go, he's up in the crypt! He's in the old crypt! You'll find him there!
Oh, shit.
That's fine, but remember, you need to convince the town that it is okay to take him, talking to the dwarf. Just present your case, what he's done, that he'll be treated fairly, and what the town might benefit. I strongly suggest you lead with this from allowing this to happen.
You say this to the dwarves or to...
I'm saying this to the dwarves.
I have a suggestion.
Go on.
These people like to get drunk off their asses.
Well, they do enjoy the dwarven / human brewed ale. Not necessarily
Give 'em
drunk,
some of
but they
the-
really enjoy it. Not necessarily drunk.
Honestly, just give them like half a barrel of real shit. That'll knock them out on their
Some-
asses for like a year.
Some real dwarven ale.
Show them
That would
how
actually
we do things.
Awesome trade item. Yeah, there you go.
Just ruin the town.
Yeah, the dwarves go, that's a good idea. These humans, they think they know good ale. We'll give them fantastic ale.
Give them that rot gut.
They start thinking, they go, oh, look at... They just scuttle off, start talking amongst themselves, they go, what? You hear, like, whispering and muddling, and go, this... They come back, there's a lot of fertile farmland around here. Perhaps they could trade us grain and goods, and we make the ale. Real ale. None of this human swill. They spit on the ground when they say that. Ah, we like it. And they go, bring us the traitor for a fair, so we can enact a fair trial.
Dope.
The townspeople again, he's in the crypt! He's in the crypt! Go get him! Go get the coward! And they point up to the top of the hill there. Oh, fine. We'll fetch him. But
I'm gonna go with you guys. Just make sure everything goes chill.
Yeah, you want to come with us?
Sure.
Fine.
Why not?
Very well. And they grab their gear and they start trudging up the hill there, and they make their way to the group of you, the 10 of you, make your way to number 7 there, which is it's an old temple. A narrow path winds its way up to the hillock between sharp rocks to a flat section. In the middle of the flat section, the overgrown remains of a circular stone foundation can be seen. 12 pillars placed along the edge of the foundations stretch like ugly teeth towards the sky. A crumbling obelisk with a hole near the top stands in the middle of the circle, and an ominous feeling hangs over this place. So you guys get here and you just feel eerie, like even more eerie when the dead are walking amongst you at night, and you're just like, I don't know what happened here, but something happened here a long time ago and I don't like it. You guys kind of
Here's
poke
those
around.
Bad vibrations.
Oh yeah. You guys kind of poke around and You're just like, oh, well, he's not here, but this place is weird. And then you're told of a crypt within the hill or the mountain there. So you notice a large stone is recessed in the greenery of the hillock. Upon a closer look, you notice that the rock is hewn in the likeness of a gate, but there is no handle.
Now, someone told us that he had asked the town people to seal him in. Is that true?
Yeah, that's what they said. And the dwarves start investigating it, and they're like, "Oh, we could move this. We put some sort of tool in there, perhaps one of our axes or a crowbar or something. We could wedge this off." And they all cheer, and they you see them like take out a warhammer, and they take the handle and they wedge it in there, and like all 7 of them start like pushing on to get some leverage fulcrum on here, and the stone begins to budge and make way, and they're like, "Hey, get your backs in here! Help us get this thing out of the way."
Sure.
Go ahead and make me a might roll. Whoever wants to do it, either one of you. I don't care. And give yourself 4 additional dice and one weapon die for the warhammer.
Do you want to do it, or do you want me to do it?
I've been here this entire time.
You guys are...
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
So might, what do I add?
Might, give yourself a +4 dice, and also a +1 for equipment or weapon. We're going to count the warhammer and also...
+5?
Yeah, +5 total.
Okay, so I got 1. Wait, what? I don't have... So, 2, 3, 4, 5. So... that. Which one is it? Did I succeed?
You got more failures than... Yeah, you succeed. All you need is 1 success. So you all start like pushing and pushing and pushing, and the rock gives way, and dust and dirt and stone crumble down, and you roll it aside, and you've got a long, dark tunnel in front of you. And with Gritsnob away, I think we're going to end there. We're going to end half an hour early, because I don't want to continue without him and Agari before we enter this area. How does that sound?
It's fine.
Till next week, Friday. It was good to be back in the Forbidden Lands.
I missed it. It was like a comfy glove.
A comfy glove. You guys have taken your steps, the first steps into something greater, into the ongoing campaign, and you've got lots of, well, a few options so far, and I'm sure more are going to make themselves available. And that's the great thing about this game. There's no right way or wrong way to go. There's no linear path. There is no rails that you're riding on. You guys decide what you want to do. It doesn't matter. You can ignore all of this and just be like, hey, F it, we're going over here instead. And that's the beauty of this game. It encourages that. So it's cool. It's cool to be back. I really like this game a lot. So we'll do this
good game. Appreciate you running.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks, guys, for playing. We'll do it again next week at the same time. And yeah, we'll see what happens in here with old Yawim.
I still kind of want to do someday that double sesh.
I do too. Let me see. I was thinking about it today, but it's my youngest son's first birthday tomorrow, so we have a lot of work to do tonight. Well, tonight and tomorrow and everything. Yeah. So there was no way my wife was letting me get away with running a double session tonight, because yeah, we did a whole lot of running around and stuff before this game. But I agree, a double session would be fun. It'd be nice to have the whole gang here. I'm still looking for a fifth for us. It'd be nice to have one more in here. But there's always the option for drop-ins. I know if we had run last week, Oak, one of our regulars, wanted to drop in and play with us because his regular Friday game wasn't on. And that would have been cool.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm solid with that.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thanks so much for playing. Thank you to the people who tuned in and watched us play. I appreciate it. And we'll do it again next week. Have a good night.
Good night, guys.
Copy that. Good night.